Okay, we are live. Good evening from here. You're welcome to Opinion Sharers. My name is Paul, and we're going to be doing an informal session today, focusing on issues that are happening, whatever it is that is trending in Nigeria. But we know that a lot of things are happening in the political scene since we are, you know, gearing up and ready for the 2023 election. And I believe that everything is at stake for Nigerians. I mean, in my own in my own observation, I think a lot of people are actually preparing. So we believe that a lot is at stake for Nigeria, hoping that we get it right this time around. After you know, by next year it's going to be 8 years of Buhari's administration. So people think or believe that we have to get it right in 2023 because that's another 8 years, and I don't think we can risk it because people are now seeing that whoever comes to power will want to use his power to stay in power for the next two sessions, which is 8 years. So I am hoping that we'll get it right come 2023. So my guest tonight we're going to be discussing is going to be freestyle, which means people can discuss whatever they want to discuss. They can mention whatever issues. I can ask questions. I can also, air my views. Timlai might join us. He celebrated his birthday yesterday, and we're still saying happy birthday to him. Maybe he'll join us. He said he'll be going out to the garage. So hopefully he returns before we finish. Then he'll join us. And if not, then that will be till next week. But let's quickly take a minute to share the link to invite people to the show. That way we will, when we come back, then I'll be introducing my guest. Please let's take 1 minute, or maybe it should be less than a minute, to quickly share the link. Share, 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 share. So if you are joining us for the first time, thank you. It's Opinion Sharers. Opinion Sharers is a platform where we discuss issues that concerns Nigeria and Africa, or Nigerians wherever they are. So today it's going to be about Nigerians in Nigeria, and it's going to be a non-formal session, which means my guests can freely discuss. Maybe we'll call it freestyle. So that's what we're going to be doing today. So please help us share. If you can see me, help us share so that we can invite other people. So I guess we go on with the introduction then. Let's start with the village boy.
Good morning here, good evening, Nigeria. I am the village boy.
Okay, thank you, sir. Michael.
Good evening, everyone. It's really been a while, and I'm glad to be here again after several weeks. Thank you.
All right. Citizen.
Hi, friends. Welcome to the show again. It's good to be back this lovely Saturday evening. I'm Citizen Oluwatosin.
Okay, thank you. So, since it is freestyle, I will kick the ball rolling. So I'll start by one video that I saw recently, and I think it's been trending in Nigeria, and that's an ex Boko Haram. I felt embarrassed by it. That's why I am mentioning it. Some people may not feel embarrassed, but I feel embarrassed by it. That an ex bandit, someone that was responsible for organizing the killing of fellow Northerners, over the week was seen, being turban to become a chief in Buhari's home state in Katsina. I saw a short response from the governor, or maybe somebody, a representative of the governor, saying the so-called, because there were officials, there are two officials who were who graced the occasion. So he was saying that those people, they went and represent themselves in the sense that they are from the same local government. Somebody they know is under the police wanted list, you know, I learned that last year the police said, if you can give us information that will lead to the arrest of this same person, we will give you 5 million. Yes, that person has suddenly become a chief. I don't know how to call it. Anyway, Village Boy, what's your take on this opinion?
Well, there are two sides to every coin. Um, Maybe he has repented and they have told him to go and sin no more. So that's one side, but it is it's ridiculous. It is embarrassing, but it's not unusual. It is not unusual at all. So anybody who understand how Nigeria rules, most is it in the last 30, 35 years, there has been a collapse of values. So today, those who do wrong things are those who are most likely to be awarded chieftaincy title. So, like they will say, "Olóòótọ́ ìlú ló ṣìkà ìlú." I mean, those who speak the truth are seen as the enemy of the state. But those who are doing harm to the state are the ones that are being elevated. So it is not unusual, but it's to that extent, it's not abnormal, but it's ridiculous. Now, if the police are sincere too, if you are declaring somebody wanted and the person is being openly combined, so what has the police done? Have they arrested him? So that will also tell you the sincerity of our people. If you announce in the newspaper, you put the bounty on somebody's head that anybody who sees this person, we awarded 10 million or whatever amount of money you choose to. And the person is now, of course, there are invitations that went out that this guy is going to be Toban. And it was actually Toban, and two government officials came. So, what has the police done? Has he been arrested? Has he been jailed? Oh, okay, you cannot jail him. He has to go to court before you jail him. So I think there is a lot of insincerity in how we do things. He's not the only one. It's not the first. It's not likely going to be the last. Maybe because he's, you know, because of the social media, that's why the thing went viral. These things are happening. Arm robbers have become issues. Yahoo boys have become issues. Even politicians who steal from office have become issues. So it's unfortunate. This is where we are. We've lost our moral compass. Thank you.
All right, thank you, sir. Tosin, this guy has suddenly become a chief. What's your take on it?
My opinion is not different to that of the village boy because there's no values again in Nigeria. There's no values again in Nigeria, and the way things are degenerating by the day. Um, in the coming elections and in the coming years, it will be very difficult to preach morals in Nigeria because some weeks ago, we have a special advisor to Ogun State Governor was arrested in the US because of his involvement in scams and all that. Yahoo boys are having access to a lot of money, sponsoring politicians, and they themselves sponsoring themselves for office. And these are the people we are going to be entrusting with our resources, with the nation's wealth. So so things are really degenerating in Nigeria. Good morals doesn't pay again. Good morals doesn't pay again. Those that involve in all this, uh, those that involve in dubious ways, they are the one now gaining momentum in the society, having chieftaincy tattoo, and especially this guy in the north and the northern Nigeria and the bandit and even the terrorists. There is a lot of soft spot the general public have for this bandit and the terrorists in the north. And if this doesn't stop, there will not be an end to terrorists and bandits in the northeast and all over Nigeria.
Yeah, Tosin, thank you. You see, when Tosin just mentioned the north and the fact that they have soft spot for terrorists and bandits, I don't just understand, because really this magnitude of crimes, yeah, crimes and kidnapping and all cannot be happening, and people pretend not to know. Anyway, those Michael, let's hear your opinion, please.
Okay, thank you so much. Let me start my own comment by saying, using the words of Professor P.L.O. Lumumba, saying, Africa, we are good with the canonization of thieves and vilification of the saints. And it is disheartening that that is what is actually becoming the order of the day. Um, I think about 2 or 3 days ago, there has been this recurring conversation in my between myself, my boss, and some of my colleagues at work, and it is about the generation. I mean, after my own generation, it is becoming a fear in the mind of every, should I say, progressive minded Nigerians. What will become the fate of this nation if this trajectory should continue with the coming generation? It appears that they are wiser, they are more crafty, they are more smart, and permit me to use a language. Some of them very corny in the way they do things, and this is without prejudice to any segment of the society. But the truth must be told, because if we don't tell ourselves a very honest truth, then we will all perish together. Permit my language. It is becoming worrisome. However, we're not going to blame all this set of individuals alone, because everything rise in the shoulder of leadership. I mean, it starts and ends I mean, with leadership, whether at family level, at the community level, at the local government, and up to the national or the global environment. It appears that the values we're talking about daily is deteriorating, and it appears that nothing is being done to actually mitigate some of these things we are talking about. So it appears that most of us, we have lost our minds, our thoughtfulness, not putting attention to things that are happening around us. If as a young person, as small and as old as I am, permit me to use that language, I still have parents that can still call me to order with my level of exposure when I get some things quite wrong. This is not, I don't want to be quite specific about the person that was to banned in the north, because it appears that it is the order of the day in Nigeria. Even in the political climb, we see those that are being sent to the corridor of power. They are nothing in any way different. So it's actually a national problem, and my fear, because I'm beginning, in all sincerity, I hardly get scared of events, but with the way things are going in Nigeria, I am really worried what becomes of our fate in no distant time. And as we gravitate towards 2023 general elections, some things will definitely unfold as we have them unfolding now. But how to take advantage of the moment is what that is for the, I mean, the positive minded Nigerians. How to really take advantage of the moment is what I really don't know how we can go about it, because it appears that those who are really concerned about the progress of Nigeria, they are really very minute in number, and those on the other climb, they are the majority. So let us see how event unfolds. But I can only say you referencing the words of Bishop Martin Azankuka. The only commodity we have to sell is hope. We hope out we are seeing how things eventually unfold. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Michael. You guys, the seller of hope. Me, I am not joining you in selling hope. Me, I'm not joining you in selling hope because anyway, really, when you look at it critically, we need hope, But as much as we need hope, also, I don't think it should be building on nothing. When I was growing up as a young boy in Ekiti, it is commonly said that "Orúkọ rere ó sàn ju wúrà àti fàdákà lọ." I don't know. Maybe how do I translate that into English now? That a good name
It's
is
better
better
than silver
than
and gold.
silver and gold. And so I grew up, even now, I still, when I talk to people, I still do say that the only thing that I sell, the only commodity that I'm selling is my name, integrity, and what I stand for. That's all that I sell. That's all I have, that I have to offer. But unfortunately, when you look at our society as a whole, one is not really proud, of what is happening. And I want to, if somebody want us to talk about anything, please do raise it and feel free to talk about it. But I wanted to talk about the place of winning elections, like we've seen in Osun State, and I learned that there was some selling and buying. Michael, were you a witness in the election?
Actually, I was not physically on ground, but we have reports of events that actually took place because my boss actually was part of the event, and we actually knew some things were going to play out because permit me to say that these guys we are dealing with is just like we say they are the same content in different bottles, the same content, but they have different nomenclature, whether APC or PDP. But one thing I must also say, because there is need to commend the community where I belong, which is a civil society organization. I think we have really made a lot of input in improving the state of our electoral system in Nigeria.
Is it
Prior
the
to
are you are you saying the CSR did that, or INEC? Don't take their
you
credit.
know, there will definitely be push for the National Assembly, but for the INEC, definitely I was still going to commend INEC as well. But I need to start my own with my own constituency because charity begins at home. I mean, the civil society community have really worked very well to ensure that we have our electoral system improved, and we can see this significantly because prior to now we are always confronted with the issue of ballot box snatching. It is becoming a thing of the past because people don't really snatch ballots again. They don't snatch ballot boxes again. What they do now is the vote buying, and this is actually to tell us that we have a lot of work to do in that area again. We have conquered the issue of vote buying, so we need to actually up our game on issues around sensitization of the electorate on the disadvantages of vote buying. So I believe we that will be taken into consideration as time goes by. But in a nutshell, I am very impressed by the turnout of the voters. It's quite commendable that the Osun people turned out en masse and then they made their I mean they made the decision as it were. And there were a lot of vote buying across party divides because to say it was only one party that bought votes, I think one would be very economical with the truth. It was a game between all the key political parties. But one interesting thing I think we also need to put into consideration. I was in a conversation with my friend some days ago about the person who actually won the election. I think he rode into winning the election as a result of the family name, so to say, because the record has it that their father was a senator who represented, I think, is it Osun West now? Yeah, some decades ago, and he was able to cascade that to his children, where Senator Isiaka Adeleke was a governor and he became the senator eventually. And at the end of the day, the younger brother became a senator and now a governor, which is to tell us that there is something
Michael,
peculiar.
let me stop you. Let me stop you first. Okay. you will have some more time. Let me ask Village Boy to do a little bit of a comparison between the Osun and the Ekiti election and the successes. Anyway, that's my opinion. The successes that INEC seem to have garnered.
Well, thank you very much. There is what do we call it, improvements. It seems now that what it has come out is like voting seems to be now counting, and the votes of people now count. And that is why resorting to vote buying is an acknowledgement that rigging the old way is almost becoming not feasible. So you have to find a way of doing it. So in those days where people just sit down and print or sit down and just write record, obviously that seems to be, get out of fashion. Now, when you look at, there are things I want us to dispassionately look at. In Ekiti State, where it's a bit different from Osun State election, is like there is a vote for and a vote against glaringly in Osun State. And it's because by the admission of the governor-elect, he said that the camp of Aregbesola helped them. Those in Aregbesola camp were voting against the incumbent governor. And quite fortunately, though every vote against Oyetola become a vote for Adeleke. So there is, I want us to look at that. I mean, that is what happened. Because even at that, you will see the gap is a bit narrow. But there is also something that is worrisome for me as an individual. Either you look at it from the election perspective or Osun State election perspective. The question is like, why are we stuck with PDP and APC? Why? Why is it that the people don't think beyond these two parties? What have they done to the people that they think that beside these two, there are no alternatives? How many political parties contested the election? Why is it a case of exchanging of ball between the two parties? So that is even the issue for me of graver concern, that whether it's this one that won or this one that won, that won. For me, PDP and APC is just, the difference between them is like half a dozen and 6. And I don't think that difference is that much. So Ekiti election followed the normal pattern. Osun election, we saw a new dimension where there is a clear case of voting for and voting against. And the one who has more opportunity, won. So what we call a protest vote, it's like a protest vote that happened. Almost the same thing that happened in Lagos in 1993, except that in 1993, quite fortunately, we had only 2 parties. So the vote against SDP then became a vote for NRC, and that is how Otedola became the governor. So we have seen this pattern occur before. So the question is like, how long will it take us to be held down by APC and PDP? That is my concern. How long are we going to be under their prison? Because they have imprisoned the country.
All right, so the question is whether when you look at other parties, there was no other popular party in the election. People were saying maybe the guy that left APC to Obi's party, that probably, I don't even think he had more than 10,000 votes. I mean, I'm not sure.
So, you saw SDP.
Yeah.
From SDP, even by Governor Nipa degree. I mean, why would the people not vote for Oni? Oni as even a governor, which is from Fidike. SDP is supposed to make a stronger show in Ekiti. Even in Osun State, why not?
Yeah, I think
It's not
it
as
may
if
not be.
SDP itself is becoming a kind of retirement home of APC and PDP. It's not as if SDP is even the one we are looking for. But let even say SDP even make a change. Why wouldn't SDP? Why can't SDP win in Ekiti? Why can't SDP win in Osun State? That would have been at least a little step forward from these two parties that they don't have anything to offer. But again, this is one of the problems of democracy. If you bring a crazy person into the room, and most people in the room voted for that crazy person, it's the one that will win. That's a terrible game of number. It doesn't matter whether
Somebody,
you.
sorry, sir. I was
What?
discussing with somebody after the election, and the person said what played out in the Ekiti election was that the people are so poor, such that it was the outside influence of money that make them, look away from Oni, even though people believe that Oni could have done something. But then that there were a lot of money that flowed into Ekiti, small state without
Okay,
much resources.
when you want us to talk about poverty and why poverty is a major factor, and I think we should dedicate a lot of time to talk about that.
Yeah.
Because it's a reality that we cannot gloss over. And that is, you see, if you keep people poor. Somebody told me during the something that somebody was doing calculation that how can somebody collect 10,000 and survive for 4 years, and the person was even doing calculation of the value of that 10,000 per day for 4 years. I said, look, fine, good calculation, but the question is this: if you are somebody who is not sure of your lunch or your breakfast, and somebody brings 10,000 for you, what is your business with 4 years? What is even your business with 1 month from today? What is your business with 5 years from today? This 10,000 fix today's problem. Today you can eat. Today you can enjoy life. Tomorrow will take care of itself. See, the poverty level is so excruciating. And when you are poor, we are told that somebody that is hungry, what do you want to preach to the person? When you are sending the person to repent, he's thinking that can I go and collect Garin on credit from Yamulika? Without Madam Rose, will she send me rice and beans on credit today? That is what the person is thinking. And the moment the guy sees a word of naira, what is he thinking? Oh, at least today we eat abula, we eat food today. So the guy, even 3 days is too long for him to think in that situation.
Okay.
If we cannot break poverty or reduce poverty to a certain level, vote buying will become a norm. An hungry person doesn't lack moral. Don't say that because the person is hungry, he doesn't have moral. What the person has is a need that has turned his thinking upside down. I hope none of us have experienced hunger or poverty. Sometimes you can have temporary setback here and there, but when you see poverty, real poverty, that has even put agbada on you, and somebody is talking to you about 4 years. What is 4 years? This guy wants to survive today. Is he even sure that he's going to be alive in 4 years? Why should he hope for 4 years when it's not even sure? How is he going to cross today to tomorrow? How is he going to survive from now till next week? And you are talking 4 years. The guy is not interested in 4 years. This guy has been pushed to the wall that the only thing he thinks is what is going to happen to me now.
Okay, sir. Let me quickly ask those in this one because he's from Osun State. Tosi, what do you think influence? Was it like the village boy said, people were, maybe they deliberately voted against the sitting governor, such that we now have a dancing governor, I mean, after the swearing in, you have a dancing governor in Osun State. I hope that entertainment will be part of the driving force of the economy. Anyway, the question is, what do you think brought about that? Was it voting against the governor in anger or something?
And talking about Osun State election, we must understand that even in the last election, this the Adeleke has a higher chance to win the election until the election was declared inconclusive because APC see that they are going to lose. There's a tremendous love that the new Adeleke, the governor elect now, there's a tremendous love he enjoy from the supporters of his late brother, Isiaka Adeleke. And his late brother, Isiaka Adeleke, has built a kind of movement for himself that he inherited. And good for him. He's building on it and he's doing it excellently well. So in the last election, he should win that election, but APC used their power, the power of incumbency. Aregweshola also is a versatile guy. They used that his influence, declared the election conclusive. A few days to the re-election, Omishore, that was in the camp of PDP, decamped to APC, and they lost that election. Now, talking about this election now that is just concluded, from the last election till this new election, the Adelekes have been there for the people. Even during the pandemic, the volume of food relief material the Adeleke shared to the people is more than the one the government shared. People that were on grant have confirmed that everybody has problem in that state. They cry to this family, and when you go there, you come back laughing. These are things that people use to win election in Nigeria. Taking preference from the late Saraki, that's Baba Saraki, the of Ilorin, and Adedibu, being man of the people and using that to win the heart of the people, and when election come, using that to win election. So the Adeleke, they really tried. One would not expect APC to. SPC is not in order. The first thing is the governor in there is just Beudani. It's not really been active. People, the only thing they are boasting of is they pay salary. Like salary payment is one rocket science. Nigeria people getting political office in Nigeria. I hate it when they are saying they pay salary. Like salary paying is one innovation or is one discovery. They pay salary. So the fight that happened between Aregbe, the camp of Aregbe Shola, and the camp of Tinubu also helped the opposition, that's the PDP, helped them to winning that election because Aregbe Shola wasn't working for them. And these are the thing in politics. These are one of the small gains like this when fight like this happen in the camp of your opposition, your opposite, your the other party as a contending candidate. You work on those negative on those fights and to your own advantage. So it is good. I want to see the new governor, the governor elect. I want to see him doing some good works and not just dancing and dancing. You should understand now that the time of dancing has passed, and it is time to work. The time of dancing and using that to I see that as his own strategy to winning the heart of the people. So that time has gone now. this is the time for work. This is a time for work, and the people of Osun State that have trusted him with their vote, I'm from Osun State. We really want to see him work. Not he pay salary, he build bridges, he make drainage. Those are not works. We want to see the life of individuals in the state transforming and people being lifted up from poverty to production.
All right. Thank you, Tosin. Now we have another son of Oshun. So let's quickly hear Timilehin's view about the dancing governor. Permit me, I don't mean to be disrespectful. I just feel like it is convenient for me to call him like that. So after that, we go to the. Michael suggested we discuss the Muslim ticket and the response of ICANN. So, Timlain.
Thank you, sir. Good afternoon from here, everyone. I'm sorry I came late. I had to attend to some urgent issues. So, regarding the dancing, the dancing governor, quote and unquote, please. I think I should be able to speak about this with a little bit of confidence because I'm from Osun State. I'm from Ikwetu Ijesha, Osun State. So I just want to say first that it is okay to dance in the public. So for instance, anywhere I go to, the first thing I look around for is a soccer pitch. I can do it, and we should, because of the fact that he has become a governor now, we cannot, rip him of his personality, of what he enjoys doing. If he wants to dance, let him dance. So far, he would, perform, and he would do his job. Everybody knows the history of the Ukrainian president before he became president. He was a comedian, stand-up comedian. So it could be anybody and still perform, excellently well. So I would say the people of Osun have made their choice known to the people. They came out with a voice, and I'm happy that this actually happened. But just like Citizen Oluwatosin said, this is not just about dancing. This is not just about winning election. We should make the effort of the people count, because they actually showed that they are really tired of the APC government. I would not even call it government, it's a regime. They're actually tired. People are actually tired of this regime, and they understand now that their vote is the only power that they have. I saw a lot of videos emanating from Osun State on that day, where people came out and told the public that, yeah, they gave us 10,000, but what it will go, that is, they wasted their money. That is to tell you that people can still collect your money and still vote their conscience. And this is what played out in Osun State. The only thing that actually was a thing of worry to me was the fact that it was really close. That if you look at that election, it was really close. It didn't win by a landslide. I was expecting people to come out and say, to really say no. So that is to tell you that we still have a lot of work to do in trying to, educate our people, to let our people know that no to bad governance, no to mediocrity, no to godfatherism, no to, this kind of governance by stooge, whereby people is just placed, someone is just placed somewhere to, to rule in the favor of some people. And I know everybody here understands what I'm saying. Oyetola could have paid salary, but is that not the constitutional right of the governor? So even if you did a lot of infrastructural development, if you brought it up infrastructural development to Osun State, that is what you are there to do. And you are not doing it from your pocket. So you are not doing people any favors doing that. And I need people to really understand that it is your right to enjoy infrastructure under any governance whatsoever. So far, it is democracy. Even military government, people still do stuff for their citizens. So let us understand the fact that someone pays salary does not make him an excellent governor. That is the minimum. That's the least he can do as a governor. It is not. It is a privilege for anybody that works to get their pay. So I am really infuriated about the fact that people say he paid salary. I hate that statement because that is what should be done. Even if we don't have any governor, that is supposed to be a system that work. When people work, they should get paid. I see a lot of people talking about governance and the cost of governing people in Nigeria is too high. So they need to. I mean, people have been saying a lot of things like they should increase tax, they should do this and that. People are actually not sorry about the background noise. I'm outside, and people are not really talking about how much senators collect, how much House of Representative members take. Why do we even have to have two chambers at the National Assembly? Let us ask ourselves sincere questions. And the issue of paying salary will not even come out if we actually if we talk about these things. We'll not be talking about a pay. So I would say the people of Osun State, they have come out, to make their voice known, even though the voice was not really loud. It was just a little bit above the minimum. So people actually spoke, and I'm glad this happened. Now, this is a call to governor-elect.
Okay, Timlay, I think we lost you there.
I think
Am I still
Nigeria
live?
happened to him in Canada.
Okay, I think I don't know whether I can quickly make some comment about this issue of salary or not salary.
Okay, Billy Boy, quickly do that, and then we go to this
See,
Am I
guys,
still live?
you hang for some time.
Timlay, are you there? Are you back?
Yeah.
It's still
Yes,
like
I
it's
am.
still fluctuating.
Okay, quickly round off your statement.
Right. So this is my the last thing to say on this topic is that Governor-elect Adeleke should roll off his sleeves and work really hard to make it work for people. Else, in the next 4 years, the APC are going to come out with a game. And what they are going to say is that you have come and you have not done anything. Is it easy to govern these people? So he should know that there is a task ahead of him, and he must really, really stand up to that challenge. If you can just do it for the people. Do it for the people, and it will easily end you another 4 years. And your political career that people say you do not have history in politics, that you are, you are actually riding on the wave of what and the late Adeleke had done. Prove to the people that you actually can do it. And this is a way you can do it. Make sure you surround yourself with people that can actually work hard for the benefit of the people. People that have the interest of the people at heart. So if you can do this, I believe that you will be successful. The people of Osun are very easy to govern. Just give them what they need. What do they need? Let there be job. Let there be infrastructure. Build roads, and don't leave. So please, there is we are not very difficult people in Osun State. Very easy, very easy going people, and we are not
to us.
We are honestly speaking, we are not difficult to govern in Osun. Look at what Aregbe did. Most of what Aregbe did in Osun State was just noise. He did some things, but it was just noise and a lot of background embezzlement. But people still appreciated him for the fact that he built road. So if people in Osun State are really easy to govern, if you can just give them your best, Adeleke, just do it for them, and you will easily earn a political career for life in Osun State. Thank you.
Okay, now, Timlay.
Okay, let me just make a few comments on this issue of salary. There's a background to it. Aregbesola that Timlay just praised now left the state with 16 months unpaid salary. So actually, Aregbesola created a problem for this governor, and this governor was very frugal. I mean, from the record and from available statistics, actually there are a lot of good things he has done. So the fact remains that the what do I call it? The benchmark for governance in Nigeria is very low. It's just too low. Just too low. So that is why people will be coming and be confused of somebody pays salary, somebody not pay salary. That is behind the issue. Then there is the issue of Nigeria is weaponizing poverty. So anybody that brings food to the table become the hero. See, you are just giving people fish to eat. We are not teaching them how to fish. So what magic will you do as a governor if the environment is such that people are not taught the dignity of labor? People are not empowered to cater for themselves. It is not what you do. Like if you give me a bag of rice free, 50 kg of is a bag of rice, I can eat it for 3 months if I'm very frugal. But what happens to me after 3 months? So I don't think we should trivialize governance. We know in democracy, whoever emerges the majority wins. But governance is beyond this stopgap something. Yes, Adeleke has to prove himself, whether he's capable, which will depend on those who help him to run. But don't forget, he also going to, just as this one inherited a huge problem of unpaid salary of 16 months, there will also be problem that this guy will inherit. And the government, you can't come back and make excuses because this person did not do this. Like Rachel cannot say because I inherited 16 months salary and that's why I cannot function. No, the moment you take that responsibility, all the asset and liability of the past government become yours, and you have to fix it. You have to have a way of fix it. I think we are giving very shallow demand to people in governance. We have lower what governance should be. I agree totally with Timile. We should not even be talking about salary. That's not even an issue for governance. Because
I guess it's because many of them are not paying. That's why some of them are
thinking. The people you are paying salary are the people you are using to govern. They are the people that are doing the work. The civil servants are supposed to be the one that are doing the work. Whatever policy you have is the civil servant that will implement it. So why should paying them be an issue? It should not be an issue. It's because we have lowered this thing beyond ridiculous level.
True.
And again, I'm seeing is that if we are not looking beyond APC and PDP, we are done for. We are not going to move forward. If we are celebrating APC win, we are celebrating PDP win in 2022, we are in trouble. Big one.
Yes, sir. Michael, are you there? Let's quickly give Michael some minutes. He said he has another meeting. So, Michael.
Okay, thank you so much. I think all has been said about Oshun. I just want to make one or two comments about the Muslim ticket of the All Progressives Congress, the ruling party. I know there has been many uproar around it, and of course it continues, and it won't be it won't be sad to say that whether Nigerians or rather those who are not comfortable with it or not, if we continue to shout, there is nothing that can be done. The deed is done, so it is in the ball of those who are. I mean, it is in the court of those who are not comfortable about the ticket now to also strategize and know how best to win the battle. However, permit me to say that the Christian community, because where I belong, and I have always said this over and over again, that the church has not been very up and doing when it comes to the issue of encouraging the congregants to participate in politics. But now the reality is actually telling us, I mean, is open to every one of us to see that we are now technically, permit me to use the language, reaping the fruit of the, shall I say, the non-involvement of the church. I wouldn't say the church now, or rather encouragement of the Christian community to participate in politics, nation building, because over the years, some of our leaders, they have tagged it as sin. and it is like it is sinful to participate in politics. But now it is no longer sin because it is not a smiling situation, as it were. But let me also register that as a person, I believe in competence, I believe in nation building, I believe in patriotism. But we it appears that we have shot ourselves in the leg, just like I've earlier said that the what is happening now is just as if they have studied the Christian community to say, okay, you guys, there's nothing you really can do. So if effort has been in place over the time to say encourage Nigerians, to encourage the Christian community to participate in politics, in nation building, I don't think this would have been the case. But now it has happened. How do we address the situation? Because when we look at the trend now, most religious leaders in the country, particularly those of the Protestant faith, even the Orthodox faith, they are already saying, oh, this is uncalled for. It's a slap on the face of the Christian community to say, okay, nobody can be the vice president, this and that and that and that. But I want to make this position known that the the reality is already before us. We have several options to make, and there's no room for panicking. It's a matter of encouraging everyone, for all of us to come to that point of self-awareness that where do we really belong, or where do we see Nigeria in the next 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 years? So hanging on the fact that APC already made their own decision is not a reason to actually cry or to be, I mean, for opera. There are several options. It's a matter of saying, okay, if the church cannot publicly come out to say, encourage citizens, the Christians, to actually go out, make their decision. And that's one of the very good thing about democracy. Just like Village Boy pointed out, I'm a democracy advocate, and we should equally encourage that enough of all these are, I mean, permit me to say, are religious leaders. I'm having divided attention because of what I want to drink or what I want to do. Our religious leaders also should put end to this issue of preaching that politics is not, that politics is a sin. And it is not to me, because you have been called, you may have been called as a Christian leader. It doesn't stop you from condemning others who are not following suit, who are saying they want to go into politics. Everything in life is all about calling. What makes the difference is who is calling you. So you can decide to answer the call of God, you can decide to answer the call of the devil. But what really matters now is that the fact that I've chosen to be a democracy inclined person should not turn me to a sinner in the sight of religious leaders, particularly in the Christian community. And conclusively, let me also say that the matter at hand is not the issue of whether I mean, the North against the South. It is the issue of I mean, strategy that is coming to play. APC, they have analyzed, they must have sat down to count their costs to know that, okay, for us to win this election, this is what we really need to do, and they have done that. The PDP, they have equally done their own. And of course, the Labour Party and several other political parties, they have done their own. But us, or rather, theirs as religious leaders now, is to encourage people, go out there, get registered, collect your voters card, and at the end of the day, preach competence to them, preach patriotism to them, and leave everyone to actually make their decision. But at the end of the day, we're going to see what the outcome is going to be. So permit me to leave it there. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Michael. Um, okay, I think my mouse is beginning to misbehave. Tosin, I want you to respond to this issue that Michael has raised.
Yeah, it's I love his position. There's no need for us to be crying. It's Muslim ticket and all. The only thing we should do from our own hand is to punish those that think only entoba niki la she, huh? So those that belittled you, the best thing is to punish them. They said the best revenge is success. So if I don't know why too much Yoruba is coming to my head. Tó bá fẹ́ kó yan wa kéré, if the guy want to offer war, like want to see the Christian community like they are not capable, they don't have electoral values. It is now up to us to now show him, to punish, not show, to punish him for that. And in politics, you don't sometimes just come to the hair and start making noise about what your strategy will be and all. It is what you gather because politicians too they do meeting. So religious leaders should stop staying on the pulpit and making noise and no, they should call themselves to a meeting, talk within themselves. Even when they want to pass such message to their members, they should turn off cameras, just talk to them, have to have discussion. Because whether we like it or not, we should not allow that ticket to float. That Muslim ticket, we must not allow it to float. It is not out of hatred for Muslims. No, it is not. It is not because we don't have religious tolerance. No, it is not. It is just that as a nation, we must every unit every community in the country must be well represented. And let nobody ask me if the Christian and Muslim is the only religion in Nigeria. Let other religions also pop up and speak for themselves. But I'm a Christian, then I can speak for that religion. So we must not allow that ticket to float. It is not because of if the people that are pushing that ticket forward, if the only thing on their head is to win election, life is beyond winning election. Life is beyond 2023. I don't want to throw too much jab to that ticket and the owner of that ticket. But life and the owner of that ticket is behaving like life will end 2023 and is behaving as if winning election is all that matter to him. But as a nation, as a young guy, as a Nigerian, that Nigerian blood flow in me, as a Nigerian that owns Nigerian passport, and everywhere I go, I'm a Nigerian. I will advise that we don't allow that ticket to flow, not because of today, but the consequences of what will happen aftermath if we allow it to float. If we allow a section of the country to have it on their head that they can determine what a general election outcome will be. If we let them to have that on their head, then we should be looking forward to a more Muslim, and especially Northerners and Northerners ticket, and it will float. And how will other region have a taste of power again? So we have churches that have branches all over Nigeria. They have branches in their thousands. I don't want to mention names now, but we have churches, we have Christian all over Nigeria. Let them go and get their PVC. That's the other time that they said workers in a particular church should go get their PVC. We talked about it on this show, right? Now we see how things is playing out. If we have a pastor as the VP now and people are being crucified the way they are, shootings are happening everywhere in Nigeria now, especially even in the church. Imagine when we have a crying governor that could not handle Boko Haram in his state and is crying to the president for help. Imagine what will happen. We must punish them for that ticket, and we must not allow it to flow. We must punish them, and everyone that think Nigeria will go on beyond 2023, must go get their PVC. Not only that they get for themselves, they should encourage everyone around them to get their PVC. And the next coming election, we should vote like our life depend on it. Actually, our lives depend on it. Our lives depend on it. Imagine all the shenanigans that is happening now. And come 2023, we don't have a substantial person to win that election. Imagine what will happen to us. As a nation, as we speak now, as a nation, Nigeria is on its knee. The news yesterday or thereabout is that the money they go and borrow, they are also borrowing money to service that one. You are borrowing money to service a borrowed money, and all the borrowed money cannot be accounted for. But what do you expect when people are borrowing money to pay salary? So the state we have now, we cannot afford to get it wrong one more time.
Okay, thank you, Tosin. I was going to ask Village Boy to respond to that, but permit me to, if possible, embed a few things based on what Tosin has said. One is precedence. Okay, regarding this ticket, Muslim ticket. Another question that I wanted to ask, and I would perhaps like Tim Lane to also respond to it, is that the people in Tinubu's camp have said religion is not that important, that we can move beyond it, in Nigerian politics. Do you think? But unfortunately, this like what everybody has been talking about since that time. So, which means it's as if we cannot just wish it away. Please, can you make your comment? Feel free to move around as you want.
Thank you very much. I listened to Tosi very well. Who are the we that will punish people? I think we are assuming that is oversimplify democracy. I think there is a need for us to understand the basic tenet of democracy. Democracy is about choice. And that choice is more of a personal conviction. In the last article I wrote, I said who is the right candidate. It was published by Premium Times. And I said, the flaw of democracy is like, people make choice. And that choice is when you are given the ballot paper. Whatever you decide at that point is what matters. And every candidate will come trying to convince you, either convince you or confuse you. Whichever one you take, the truth is that there is nowhere in the world that the people will think the same way. Either as a group, as a family, or as a community. There are people who will say, okay, because everybody is following the direction, I don't want to follow it. So we punishing people, I don't know, I don't see, that looks like a child play. It's not going to work that way. It doesn't work that way. Somebody says, I wrote an article that, okay, in this situation, you're not talking about Nigeria, about religion. The truth is that Nigeria is not in this situation. I believe there is a need for those delicate balance. I believe in that. Is this a precedent? This is actually not a precedent. In 1993, Abiola and Kingibe are also Muslim ticket, and they won. So it's not as if it has not happened before, but unfortunately, because of the annulment, they didn't get to rule. So we didn't know what would have happened if they ruled. So we never had it, practicalized. And that time, were people talking about religion? No, I was well alive. I voted in that election. Nobody was talking about religion then. Why are we talking about religion now? Because there are situations that divide us now are more than 1993. In 1993, people just believe that Abiola is good. he can do it based on what he has done or whatever. But today, because of, again, weaponized poverty, everybody is looking, I know, under the principle of representation, everybody is looking for who will represent them. Whether they say election is a sin, I'm not sure why they said that. I remember in the past they used to say, okay, don't go into politics if you're a good Christian because it's a dirty game and stuff like that. But that has stopped over the years. That has stopped. That has reduced now. Nobody talk about forbidding Christian to go into politics, because today, if you want to take count, how many Christians are governors? How many Christians are deputy governors? How many Christians are in the National Assembly? There are a sizable number of them. So that no longer, to me, exists. Nobody stop anybody who want to go into politics into going to politics. And if you want to look at religion fundamentally in Nigeria, Nigeria use religion as just as a matter of identity. The religion today is a matter of identity, in the sense that what is expected of a religious person? For instance, the Bible said righteousness exalts a nation. Are Christians who are in government, are they righteous? Are Muslims in government, are they righteous? If religion is so important in Nigeria, why do we have this level of corruption? Why have we borrowed money to share it, not for development? Why are we now borrowing money to service the debt that we cannot even account for what they are done for? Those who did this, who took these wrong decisions, do they belong to one religion or the other? You see, when it comes to corruption, when they are in the room to steal our commonwealth, there's no religion among them. There's no even tribe among them. But because we are still at a very delicate situation, I also believe that there is a need for balancing. So, and I don't know what if they have strategies, what they are thinking, why they believe that a Muslim will help them win. They have their reasons. We see how it goes. Does it mean they're not going to have any vote? There are people who don't care. There are people who don't mind. Is religion important? If, as it is being used, which is more like a case of identity, we cannot say it is not important, because it's just a feeling. It's just the feeling that I am represented. It's just the feeling that, oh, I am not neglected. That is why it is important for now. That is the state we are. When we get to that state, where you come from does not matter. The other time we were talking about, it should be the turn of the East, it should be the turn of the West and all that. And of some reason, it's the turn of the South. And that's what South? We know they are. When you talk of South, you talk of South, you are talking of Southwest and Southeast. But, all these are just matter of identity. Everybody wants to be identified. Everybody wants to feel belong. And you cannot neglect that. You must be sensitive to that. Again, when you take a decision, which is a risk in business, risk in anything you do, how people will react to that decision, you cannot control it. Meanwhile, election is a gambling. Every election is a gambling. So, I don't think it is right for a pastor to mourn the people that say, okay, because somebody did this and did this, don't vote for the person. Vote for your conscience. If you are comfortable with it, fine. If you are not comfortable, vote against it. That's why I said earlier on, every ballot, every vote that is cast is either a vote for or a vote against.
And that's how also people canvass or campaign or declare their support. They would say, like you said, the pastor should not tell their congregants not to vote against somebody. Definitely,
What they
it will
should tell
happen.
their congregants, like, make sure you exercise your right to vote the person of your choice.
Yeah, but the congregant, there are many congregants who are dependent on people, so-called who know better to advise them. Like
Let them start
Tosin
attending
always say,
Let them start attending political party
As
meeting.
the
That
business
is
remain
where
the
the
business of monkey see,
politics is
monkey
about.
do.
No, politics is discussed at political meeting level. Politics is not a matter of the pulpit. Politics is a matter of political parties gathering.
It's
I
a
mean, let
matter
us
of
not
the
confuse
pulpit
it. If
also.
you go to church, when you go to church and all they are telling you is about politics, no, that's not what it should be.
I
Go
think,
ye to the world
I
and
think,
preach the gospel.
I think we will find time. I think we will
Go
find time
ye,
to discuss
go ye
that.
into the world and preach the gospel. The gospel is what you preach on the pulpit.
The
Well,
gospel is not limited to Bible now. They preach the gospel. There's a political gospel also.
Okay.
no,
Please
no, no,
preach
no.
the
Let's
gospel
even
in
talk about
political parties. So
the truth is that
the truth is that
politics
our
can send them out of that church.
If the
Politics
government
can
is not
send
making
them
the right
out of that church.
policies,
under participation in democracy, that is what we call participation. People should be encouraged to participate in politics. If people are in the room when decisions are being made, you can contribute, you can agree, you can disagree.
Okay, let's quickly have
So,
Timileyin.
okay.
He wants to start driving soon. So,
Thank you, sir. First, I would like to make a comment about what the village boy said about Aregbe and Oyetola. We should not also forget that Oyetola was a strong element of Aregbe's government. In fact, he was the chief of staff, which is next to the deputy governor, if you ask me. So this speaks to what is our value as a politician. What is the value that Oyetola holds? Let us forget about maybe competence, maybe it was left in debt or not, but he understands the position, the financial situation of the state. He understands everything that was happening in Aregbe's government. We cannot say that he did not know that we were in debt then. So what was his plan before saying I'm going for this position? What was his game plan? What did he plan to do? And that still speaks so loudly that he is incompetent. That's whether he pays salary or he not pay salary, that still says that he's grossly incompetent because in fact, he was not coming from outside. He had better chances than this man that is coming because right now, the man that is coming in does not even know what's going on. But this one was part of the government. So he must have had a game plan. What was the plan before he said, I want to contest? Let us ask this and this tells us what our politicians hold, sway in their heart. What hold sways in our politicians' hearts? What do they hold as value? That means he knew that yes, I'm going there and I will just do it business as usual, like the Citizen Oluwatosin would say. Monkey see, monkey shop. I've been waiting to call him. Monkey.
No, there are statistics that prove you wrong anyway.
Okay,
There are
please,
statistics on what he has done. There are statistics which is not, the position of Osun State in some indices, there are situations where he has moved them forward.
like
There are
what, sir?
statistics that
Like what? I still have family.
continue.
I still
Now,
have family in Osun State,
I
and
will send the statistics to you.
they are feeling this thing directly. I mean, direct. I have family in Osun State, and they are feeling it directly, because we cannot say that he met debt, but he was part of the government already. So he does not even have any. He does not have any excuse.
The
Let
chief
us
of
be.
staff doesn't take the decision about debt now. It's not his job.
And now this is what I am
The
saying.
chief
But
of
he
staff is
knows.
not like an errand boy.
What I am saying is the knowledge he has about the situation of the state. I'm not saying he's part of it. I'm not saying he created it, but he knows that this is. So what was his game plan? This is to no. See, most of the times I don't judge actions. I judge the intent. What was his intention? What was his intention? Knowing fully well that the state did not have money, and he was promising heaven and earth. Let us be sincere with ourselves. This man said this, that I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. Of everything, what did he do? Okay, he paid salary. And so what? Let us be, see, if we are talking from the perspective of the politicians, let us talk from the perspective of the citizens as well. Somebody that work, we all work here and we see how we collect our money. Somebody that went to work Monday to Friday and they collect salary, the money he worked for his own sweat, and someone now comes out and says, this is my achievement, I paid the salary. No, now that's not an achievement. It will never be.
Nobody, we agree with you and we agree on that we have lowered the standard.
That is
But
it.
the truth is that when you are contesting for election,
We lie.
You make promise.
We lie.
You make promise. You make promise, and it is. If you don't make promise, they won't vote for you.
Sir, he knows already that he was going
That
to
is
pay.
the truth. They lie.
That was his game. I actually wanted the village boy to say is that was his game plan, to come and pay salary and bank on it, because he knew that the state did not have money. He knew that the state is so dependent on the federal government. He knew the state does not have any income, any considerable income. So he wanted to just come, pay salary, and go. And that is a good definition of lies. If he said he was going to do anything beyond that, he lied. He might be a good man, but like everybody has always been telling Osibajo, being a good man is not enough in politics. You have to be truthful, honest, and serve your people diligently the way you say you will serve them. It's not you coming, work. When people work, you pay them and you bank on it as an achievement. If we have lowered the bar too low, it is too low. It is beyond reasonable, thought. It is too low. So let us, and I love, anytime I listen to the village boy, I love the historical elements of his speech all the time. I so much love it. Talking about precedents of Abiola and Kigibe. Now, he mentioned something that is so significant. And what he mentioned that is so significant is the fact that now we are more divided along tribal and religious lines than in 1993. But now, our politicians of today, are they even taking that into consideration? Do they understand? Are they sensitive enough to know that some people may be disgruntled by their decisions? Do they understand the fact that now it is not the best time to pick a Christian ticket or a Muslim? If it had happened the other way around, we know what would be happening in the north. It's going to be a vote of revolution, election of revolution. We know it. So let us not shy away from the very obvious. The very obvious is that these people are very insensitive. They are talking about competence. Now, when it is only when it comes to their own time that we should be talking about competence, right? Let us be sincere. These people are just taking us for a ride. They are taking us for a ride. I would not say maybe we should punish them.
What is even the competence? What is the competence when Boko Haram almost took the state from him?
I mean, everybody knows what happened during Shetima period now. When people were attacked because of one Boko Haram member that was inside the UN whatever that time. Let us be every of this information is outside in the public domain. It is outside in the public domain. The problem we had in 1993, the issue in 1993 is that there was no social media to talk about all of these inadequacies.
And we are not as divided as now.
Not even that. People want to get the military out, so they don't care how we do it.
So my own message is not even to Khan. It's not to the Christian body. It's not to anybody. It's just to the public that they should look. There are many options. There are many options out there that we can follow. There are many options, way more competent. When you talk about, see, everybody.
More healthy.
I mean, let us look at these people are just set of old, whatever that I can call them. We have all seen videos of Baba Tinubu, taking pauses for more than 30 seconds, 1 minute. Is that who we are going to be proud of as the president of Nigeria? Or is it because truly that the bar has truly been lowered by Muhammadu Buhari?
The bar has been lower.
Yeah. So should we now continue in that? I think this is a time for us to reflect and see that these people have taken us for a ride long enough. And it is time to make our vote really count. If it doesn't count, they will not offer you 10,000 naira. My people in Nigeria, 10,000 naira is less than $20. It's less than $20. It's less than 15 US dollars. 10,000 naira. What can you buy with it? Can it even take you more than 1 week to finish it? Let us be sincere with ourselves. They know that your vote can't, but the power in your vote is worth more than that. The only thing that they have more than you is that power. They are just humans like you. That's why I said that Adeleke, if he so wishes to dance any party he goes, let him dance. So far he's working. So far he's working. That's his own personality. That's his own lifestyle. Olomo. Right?
Okay, now Tulay. All right.
Thank you very much. I have to run now. Village boy, I will call you when we are done, sir.
All right, I called you earlier too.
Yes, that's why I said I will call, sir. Because
Alright.
I was not available that time.
Okay, so like Tulay was saying, 10,000 naira is 20 or less than $15. Now I saw this afternoon on Gazette. Is it Gazette? They call that news channel in Nigeria. That a dollar is now 658 to the dollar. And my wife this afternoon, my wife called somebody to ask how much is naira to the ram, and the guy said it's 174 now. Last week it was 170. When I came to this country in 2014, it was 45 naira. I mean 45. One dirham was 45. Now, now it is 172. My wife was just lamenting and say, what you know that kind of thing. It's about the value. You know, what will it buy in Nigeria when that money gets to Nigeria? Somebody was ranting on social
media.
media.
I believe we should be addressing. Those are the issues we should be addressing. But again, you also are not supposed to take the people for granted. Economy is in bad shape. People are poor. See, $10 or $20 is not the issue. The guy that has no money, no food to eat today, and you come and give him that $10, that moment, his life is, as far as concerned, is better for that moment. And that is living for the moment. And how many people, what is the percentage of our people today that are living for the moment?
Yeah.
Any governance that does not address that is a problem. And why is this thing increasing? Why is foreign exchange increasing? We are not producing anything.
Yeah.
We are just trading money.
I wanted to ask a question in that line. The question is, in 2023, do you think, especially for presidential election, how many people can they buy? Do you think money will be that relevant?
The truth is that the majority of people are still poor. And like I keep on saying, these poor people, unfortunately, they are the real voters. They are the people that vote. Unfortunately, they are the people that vote. Even if the youth decide to vote this time around, it's not impossible that 60 to 70% of the voters will still be these poor people who are living for today. And the moment this constitutes the majority of voters, vote by will continue. What can we do? Let those who know they can feed themselves, who will not be persuaded by 10,000 or 20,000, whatever amount of money, go out and vote. If you don't want it to be done this way, take action. If I'm in Nigeria, I will vote. Throughout, from 1983 till I left Nigeria, there was no election I did not vote. It doesn't mean all the people I voted for won, but my satisfaction that I exercise my civic responsibility. This is what we have to, this elite apathy towards voting is what we should even be talking about. Even these voters we are talking, the real voters, they don't even understand this religion something. Maybe that's the way okay, talking in church or they could help them. They don't care about that one. That day, they go to their ward chairman and say, Alaye, tanikate kafun. Or Baba Agba, no, they will say Alaye, Baba Agba, tanikate kafun. Who should we vote? Go and vote this person, come back in the evening to collect your cola. You see, those in government have weaponized poverty against the people. And until we do something about that, we may continue to vote. I don't want to use the word right because I don't want to contradict myself in my article. I say there's no right candidate in democracy. There's no wrong candidate in democracy. It's the one that has the most vote that becomes the right candidate and the choosing. This is the reality of democracy. And unless we want to practice another form of government, which I don't know yet, so far we are practicing democracy, we must understand these basic fundamentals. If you bring somebody who did not go to school at all and is nominated and is accepted by electoral body to stand in for election, and people choose to vote for that person, the other thing is story. After that, medicine after that, the person becomes your leader, So let people who know and understand things go and vote. Don't just analyze. Yes, it's good now when we hear that more people are collecting their PVC, but even the election, I think about 50% of those who are registered voter voted, which is good. That's an improvement.
Yeah, I think 60%. I think
it's 50 because about 800,000. They say about 1.6 million collected PVC, but 800,000 voted. In Ekiti, it was about 34% or thereabout. So
yeah,
let
people did not vote, which means well,
yeah,
anyway,
you won't get 100% people voting. There's no way you get 100% people voting.
Yeah, at least if we can get about
push that
80%.
number forward. Let's keep on pushing that number forward. So if you can get close to 70, 80% of voters turnout, we might begin to see some changes. But as it is now, those who are voting are those that can easily be convinced with 5,000, 10,000. All of them share money. The two people were sharing money. Say some were giving 5,000, some were giving 10,000. There are people collected from the two. And they voted. You will follow them into the polling booth. They will still vote for one person.
Yeah, the OB people will not. They say no shishi. We'll see how that works in this coming election.
2,700 of them voted out of 800. They collected 2.7. So this is the issue we are. See, we're also in a place now that I don't know how we are going to do that. Everything everybody in every Nigeria want to do to use, okay, how much what is in it for me has become our national something. Nobody wants to do everything altruistically. Nobody wants to do anything for free. And this is what these politicians are capitalizing on.
Yeah, because the street is not smiling now.
That is the poverty has been weaponized.
Yep. Anyway, Tosin, any final note? Let's close and we'll be back again next week.
Yeah, the final note is people should go get their PVC, and in the coming election, they should be getting ready to vote. And any candidate that undermine the feelings, any candidate that undermine the body language, any candidate that undermine the tensions of the people, they should vote against such candidate. Any candidate, any ticket that does not represent the interests of the people, they should vote against it. If any candidate that is not giving them what they want, any candidate that undermine them, and any ticket that is not inclusive, there is no inclusiveness in that ticket, they should vote against them. They should vote their conscience. They should vote for those that they think can move the country forward, not those that have been in power for years and they cannot do anything. Not those that have been in power for the last 7, 8 years now, and the country is crumbling under their watch and they cannot do anything. Not those that the youth were killed in their state and they cannot do anything. They should vote their conscience, especially the youth, knowing that the future of the country depends on us, is on our shoulder. We should not allow those old guys that have been in power over the years and they have nothing to show for it. Those dispensing money without doing any known business. They should vote for people with character, those that understand the problem and have what it takes to move us out of the problem we have now. Not those that are just power driven, those that just want to be in power because they want to enter the book of record that they have been president of Nigeria. Let everybody go get their PVC, vote their conscience, vote for the ticket they believe in. The project is Nigeria, a better Nigeria. A new Nigeria is possible, but it starts with you and I getting our PVC and voting for the right person. I'm Citizen Oluwatosin.
Okay, Citizen Tosin, thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Thank you,
I would,
Tosin. I would modify, let them get their vote, PVC, take the next step and vote. There is no right candidate in democracy. I keep on
There's right
saying.
candidate, sir.
There's
There's
not.
right. Every
Let
electoral
them
year,
vote for their choice. They will vote
every
for their
electoral
choice.
year, there's right candidate. It is because we think there's no right candidate and there's no wrong candidate. That is why people that does not have capacity have their way into office in Nigeria, and they get there and they are behaving like Buhari is
It's not
behaving
about
now.
Nigeria.
In
I'm talking about
2000, in
democracy. I'm not talking
2015,
about
was
Nigeria
Buhari
democracy alone.
a minister?
I'm talking about democracy now,
There's
not
right
Nigeria
candidate, sir.
democracy alone.
Buhari
There's
is not the right candidate. In 2019, Buhari was not the right candidate because he has done 4 years and he cannot deliver. So he was not the right candidate. In this coming election too, Tinubu is not the right candidate. Tinubu has health issue he should pay attention to. And we cannot leave the country of over 200 million into the hand of someone that has health issue. He should go take care of his health and leave governance for once. He has been in power dictating who will become our governor in Lagos for the last 20 years. That is enough. The country of over 200 million cannot be given hand over to someone that has a health issue. He should go take care of his health. We need to move the country forward. There's right candidate. Tinubu is not the right candidate. Atiku also is not the right candidate for the next coming election. He has been running for over the years. What do they have to deliver? Let him do whatever he wants to do with his state, Adamawa state, and let's see what become of him. There's right candidates, sir. Tinubu is not the right candidate. He has health issue. It is glaring. It is very obvious in every interview he attended. It is clear. And if anybody is not seeing that, then such person also, if anybody is not seeing that, then that is bad. Every interview this guy granted, every public interview he granted, it is obvious that he doesn't have the capacity to lead the country. We should not be blind to that.
Okay, Dustin, see, I want to say some things as we close now. And what I want to say cuts across the way feeling cuts across culture and religion in Nigeria. This, I believe that it is sensitive to the people. And I believe that this should not be ignored, that cultural representation, religious representation is very, very important. See, we are just, by 2023, we are going to be concluding a session, 8 years, of a northerner in Nigeria as Nigeria's president. We cannot have, as far as I'm concerned, this is my personal opinion and my personal perspective. I'm not saying this on behalf of opinion sharer. I'm saying this on behalf of me, Paul Abiodun, that I don't think we can afford to have another northerner as president in Nigeria. And Personally, I also think Tinubu has goofed by selecting another Muslim to come and be his vice. All right. And on that basis, because it feels as if he neglected the importance of the other religions in Nigeria. Okay, if you have selected an Ifa priest or an Ifa worshipper or some of the traditionalists in the north, you probably think, okay, it is multi-ethnic, multi-religious, and multicultural society. But at the same time, about Peter Obi, I want to say that the Obi people needs to work. It is not going to fall on your lap. It's not going to be easy. It's going to be highly contested and battled for. And I think the obedience, especially people who are from the south, they should stop beating the drum of sentiment on Twitter. Thinking the Igbo people have served the people. It is not going to fall on your lap. In fact, in the last primary, a lot of the Easterners who were what do they call them, delegates, they didn't vote for people from their state, from their region. They did not. Maybe they were easily bought. I don't know. So these are facts. Enough of them trying to call out Yoruba or Hausa people on the social media. Let them go and vote and sell themselves, sell their candidate. I think Obi is a credible candidate. I think Tinubu, if Tinubu wins, I think Tinubu probably could be a good president. I think he might be able to attract good people in his. But unfortunately, I cannot ignore the fact that he has a Muslim ticket. So that's just my own perspective. Whoever wins, I hope Nigeria improve. I hope Nigeria we don't have to deal with some of the nonsense that we are dealing with now. Everywhere you are, anywhere you are in the world, Nigeria happens to you, and it's happening to me. So, and that's why I cannot stand on the fence. I cannot ignore what's happening. Anyway, thank you very much. All our viewers, thank you for sharing. Thank you for staying tuned. We'll be here again next week to discuss other issues that is happening in Nigeria and to Nigerians or Africans. Thank you. We'll be back. Bye from here.
Bye, everyone.